Happy New Year. Happy 2021. One of the many things I'm most grateful about in 2020 is that we had a lot of fun doing our music and our theater program outdoors, and I so much look forward to more of that as we continue on. One of the most fun ways to celebrate New Year's for me is to look at New Year's customs around the world. So we'll start our program with that, and then we're going to move into our music portion. In the United States, New Year's Eve, December 31st, is a time where people celebrate the start of a new year with family, friends, co-workers. We eat, we drink, we make toasts to health and happiness. We rejoice in the good times, and anything that we hope would change is in the past. Resolutions and predictions for the coming year are made, and there is a spirit of hope worldwide. In New York City, if you, like myself, watch the ball drop this year from TV, you know that's a time-honored tradition. The countdown starts and the ball begins to drop 1 minute before midnight. Across the country, cities and towns celebrate with fireworks. In particular, I noticed that Athens, Greece celebrated with fireworks this year, as did the Netherlands and Australia. It was very exciting. A brief history of New Year's celebrations, and I got this from history.com. The earliest recorded festivities in honor of the New Year date back 4,000 years. The first day of the New Year, then there's a new moon following the vernal equinox, and the occasion is marked by religious festivals or other types of festivals. In 46 BC, Roman Emperor Julius Caesar introduced the Julian calendar, and that became the beginning of recognizing January 1st as a calendar year. So some of those traditions offered exchanging gifts, decorating the home, and giving and attending fun-filled parties. Going on, one example of the way a country celebrates is Ecuador. Ecuador celebrates on January 1st. It is a time where luck and challenges of the previous year are forgotten, and fun-filled characterizations of different cartoons and public figures are made, and fireworks occur, and it is just a good time. People dance in the streets, and it's really fun. In Ethiopia, the Ethiopian calendar has 13 months. New Year's Day begins in September, where the country's long rainy period ends, and in 2014, just as a point of reference, Ethiopian New Year fell on September 12th. Customs include families sharing traditional meals of flatbread and stew, and young girls in new clothes and young boys in new clothes gather flowers and present them to friends while singing traditional songs. In Germany, the New Year is called Silvester, and that feast day is celebrated on December 31st. The Germans celebrate New Year's Eve with fireworks, champagne, and parties. Interestingly enough, a custom involves dipping very hot lead into cold water. The way the lead shapes in the cold water is the way the New Year is going to go. So that's very interesting. And in the Netherlands, families gather together and play board games, and they watch TV. That is one thing that I did this year. I celebrated New Year's in my home. I was flying solo, which means I was alone. I was listening to music at top volume, as was my brother. We live in a shared house. He's in a separate entrance. So I heard his music, he heard my music, and then I watched, for those of you who are fans, The Honeymooners. So if you did that too, we have something in common with the Netherlands. And in Scotland, this is without a doubt one of the more interesting traditions that I have learned about. In Scotland, they have a custom called first footing. And a friend of mine who's a ballet teacher does do this. You literally step into the first year and again, listening to music, maybe eating or drinking something sweet, because it is believed the way you start the year is the way the year will go. In my case, I drank coffee, so that means that's how my year's going to go. Scottish children rise early and visit their neighborhoods singing songs, which is a lot of fun. Very interesting. Also, a friend of mine who is Scottish said you would bring, as you step into someone else's home, you would bring bread and a little bit of money because that is a sign of prosperity. We often see a circular decoration around the holidays. For example, a wreath or a coin. That is the full circle of the 12 months for prosperity and joy. I hope you have enjoyed this part of the presentation, and we get into our singing next, so get ready.